Good evening to everyone tonight. I'm here as an honor to speak about the life of my son. I was very grateful to get a lot of help at Mass General Hospital when my son had a very difficult teenage years to grow up like many of us with the difficulty of a behavioral disorder. And at 13, I had him taken out of public school and put into the hands of the psychopharmacology people at Mass General to guide him through the very difficult years of adolescence. I only mention this first because it turned out that as he made it through all those years and became a young man, actually aspired to be a plumber, he reached the top of his mountain, and at a party to celebrate him becoming very independent and having a life of his own, he was at a party and without warning, in the middle of his friends, turned his head to the side, had an internal carotid dissection, suddenly without warning, which burst into his brain, and he dropped without a heartbeat in front of his friends. What was really obvious to me at the time was the need to give back for all the help that he had had. All the help he had had from the people in Mass General, all the help he had had from the people that helped him through those years that were very difficult. And what I really recalled was a conversation I had with him as we were driving to Stoneham High for his final exams as a senior and getting his diploma. And I said to him, you know, Bo, you have had more help than everyone else in town put together. And someday, you have to give back. And he said, Ma, don't worry, someday I will. And that comment came back to me in full force as all of his friends at the party met me at Mass General and said, what happened? And sometimes life gives you things you are not ready to handle, except through the grace of what you believe in your heart. And what you can believe in your heart is life is a gift. And by giving that gift back to other people, you share the honor of that one person who walked alongside you and needed your help so many days, and you have a chance while he is unconscious and his friends are all trying to figure out what happened, to say his life will be going on through other people. My son helped 50 people. I gave not only his heart and his kidneys and his liver, but as I stood with the woman from the organ bank going down the list, I had to say, why not give his leg bones? Why not give a small piece of skin on each buttock for a burn victim, who I used to do smears for as I worked at Mass General for the Shriners Burn Clinic? Why not, when I had worked in the laboratory many of these years and seen the organ bank on a rare occasion come in and tell us we had a whole night of work ahead of us to perfuse the organs and to do chemical analysis, electrolytes and liver profiles to save someone else's life? Did I have the chance to think about what it might be for me in that situation? And I'll tell you, I had a wonderful son who just had a little extra energy, couldn't sit in the classroom, and had a little difficulty during adolescent years, but who doesn't? Who doesn't? And at that moment in time, I can say I am eternally grateful for the people at Mass General and the city of Boston for all the medical advances, for the beginning of transplantation, for the time when a liver was taken in a taxi cab from one hospital to another, before the organ banks were formed, that gave the hope to many people. And the gift from them the organ bank to me is to give me the opportunity to speak and to tell many people their opportunity in life that may lay ahead for them. So I speak at his high school on a regular basis to all of the sophomores and some of the seniors. And I say to them, why don't you be the wise person in your family? Why don't you be the person that understands what a gift can make? Should you be the person running to the emergency room, because you won't have the moment to speak and think what to do. But if you remember this story, if you remember that I am here 3 years later saying what a gift my son gave the world, what a gift he had the chance to do, because he said, someday, Ma, I will. And thank you, Mass General, for letting us go down to the OR and do the Beatles' White Album as he was prepared and giving us a day to say goodbye with all his friends around him. Let me say thank you to Mass General for their sensitivity to let us play the Beatles' White Album. And as he was prepared and shaved and ready, and as we stood outside his room and the oxygen was removed, his support was removed not to be reconnected, the song Blackbird came on. And the song said, blackbirds sing at the dead of night, take these broken wings and fly. All your life, you have only waited for this moment to be free. And that helped us. And as his heart began to stop 10 minutes in, and then began again, the song I Will came on. If I have to wait a lonely lifetime, you know I will. And I take those words to say it is possible for every person in a moment of grief to go to the nursing staff before they come to you, in my case, and say, I want to be an organ donor. I need time to say goodbye. Help me through this and give me what I need. And I will be forever grateful for those last moments when I had my hands on him and we could remember all the beautiful things in our life and say goodbye to him in a way that was most appropriate. And in 5 minutes, his kidneys were out after his heartbeat stopped, and in the 2 people who had been called the night before to receive his gift of life. It is so important to give what you can, acknowledge the life we have, that every single person in this room has a heartbeat and the opportunity to do what they can while they're here, so that when the last heartbeat happens, you can say, I lived well. Thank you very much.